Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Julie's Stamping Spot here on YouTube. We are right in the middle of our Project Playback series. Tune in for a new video every day at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time until the end of the year. We're resharing some of our favorite projects from over the course of the year. I shared over 145 videos. There's a lot to choose from. These are my very favorite. And even if the products are retired and you don't have the same things at home, I hope that you'll enjoy the ideas and the techniques, and you'll be able to duplicate them using the supplies that you have. We recently surpassed 2 million views here on YouTube. Thank you so much for being part of that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching and being part of my stamping community. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. Are you ready for today's Project Playback? Let's see what we're going to make.
I love this Penguin Playmates designer paper from the last celebration, and I was inspired by several cards that I received during the Great Big Card Swap to make this Pinwheel Tower card. Today I'm going to show you some quick and easy steps so you can duplicate this card at home.
Oh, one more card. This one is by Carmen Melendez, and this is a tower card. A tower panel card. This one is a little bit bigger. In fact, when it folds flat, you're going to put this into a larger envelope than the medium Stampin' Up! Envelopes. Let me show you really quick. So here's like our regular medium envelopes that fit. That's like an A2 size envelope. So I'm going to make a Penguin Playmates tower panel card that will fit into a regular envelope. So the measurements I got, well, I've received several of the tower panel cards in the Great Big Card Swap. I feel really bad because my Post-it fell off this one. I can't remember who made this gorgeous, gorgeous card, but this one really inspired me as well. This was one that was sent in for the Great Big Card Swap. And then there was one, oh, and it's across the room. Yep, here it is. Okay. Mercy used the Pretty Pumpkins bundle and stamp set and those awesome die cuts. And she left a note here and said she got this idea from Dawn Griffith to use designer paper for the center. And so I am using those same idea and measurements that I looked up Dawn's video. I love using the designer paper for the center because it makes it less bulky to send in the mail. So that's where I got the idea for the designer paper. A lot of the panel cards that I've seen, tower panel cards, have used cardstock in the middle. And you certainly can use cardstock, but like I said, I think the designer paper just makes it a little bit easier to lay flat without being too bulky. Okay, so let's start with that centerpiece. This is the first time I've made a tower panel card. Maybe you guys have tried this card design at home, and if so, this might be a lot of repeat for you, but this was my first time. So I'm going to walk you through step by step. We're starting with a piece of designer paper that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I've scored at 1, 2, 3, and 4 inches. And actually, I want the blue stripes to go on the inside. So whatever you want to show up on the inside is the paper that you want to be on the inside, and the other paper is going to be on the outside, because the outside of this little tower is going to get completely covered up by the panels. So the only thing that's going to be visible is that inside. So I want my inside to be the blue stripes. That's what's going to be visible in the middle of the card there. And so I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive. I'm using the liquid adhesive on this skinny little strip. So just a little bit of the liquid glue, and then fold that over. And it should line up perfectly like that when you fold it over. So the best way, I think, to adhere those layers is to have it flat like this. All right, let's set that aside and let that dry before we assemble our card. Let's move on next to the panels. So this panel tower card has 4 panels that are going to stick onto the sides, and those 4 panels are 2 3/4 inches by 4 1/4. Now, if you're not that familiar with measurements, let me show you. This is a half a sheet of cardstock, so this is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. So this is a sheet of cardstock cut down the skinny way, and 4 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 are exactly 1/2 sheet of cardstock. Okay, so this, you will be able to make 2 panel cards from one sheet of cardstock. So this is essentially 1/8 inch, or not 1/8 inch, 1/8 of a sheet of cardstock. Okay. Nancy's asking, do you think you could use plain old typing paper for the inside rather than using up the pretty designer paper? Absolutely, Nancy. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to just use regular paper. Designer paper might be slightly thicker than regular typing paper, so that might be an advantage. But I think once you get the panels on there, then I think that they're sturdy enough to hold up to it. But I would say the designer paper does just have a little bit more like body to it. And Nancy, I have a ton of designer paper, so if you want some 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 scraps to use up for the center of your tower card, I'll be happy to hook you up. Okay, these are going to be the panels. And then to layer on the panels, I have 4 pieces of designer paper that are 2.5 inches by 4 inches. Okay, so just 4 of these, and these are going to layer onto the cardstock panels. So let me go ahead and do that. I am using just regular, oops, got myself a sticky bit right in my finger. Okay, I'm just going to add these to, I'm using Misty Moonlight, which is the dark blue in this designer paper. You could probably, if you wanted to, use different colors for each panel. Or, you know, 2 different colors. I just am keeping it clean and simple today and using the same color all the way around. So these layer perfectly on each panel. I'll have all the measurements in the video description when we're done as well. Next up, I have some pieces that are hand cut, and then I also die cut some labels. And this I kind of took from inspiration from this card with the die cut labels. These die cut labels are in the Stitched So Sweetly die set from the annual catalog. Here's the item number in case you want those, 151690. I love the Stitched So Sweetly. It has some scallop stitched rectangles, but then also some other tag shapes, and I find that I use this one a lot. So if you're looking for a good just label tag kind of set, then the Stitched So Sweetly dies are definitely ones to consider. So I have done the 2 different shapes, and I'm going to layer them here, and then I think I'm gonna turn it around there, and then I'm just gonna layer our I think I want to go that way, layer our critters on there. So for the labels, I'm just gonna do some regular adhesive, and then I'm going to add the Fussy cut designer paper guys with Stampin' Dimensionals. Kathy's asking about the Stitch So Sweetly dies being similar to the postage label punch. Let me punch a postage label punch so you can see in comparison. I think that there might be a die that is a similar size, but the dies, the rectangle dies in this set have a nice rounded edge, whereas the postage punch is more of a, it has more like that rounded part is kind of cut off. Do you see? Let me punch one and you can take a look here. Okay, so I think I've got an extra label. There we go. You can see against the blue background. So this is the rectangular postage punch, and this is one of the rectangles from the Stitch So Sweetly. So you can see the edges, like the scallops are kind of cut off on the rectangular postage punch. Now size wise, we do have some smaller rectangles in here, and so they're skinnier though. Like here's one that's a little taller, that's about the similar width, and then this one is a lot skinnier. So similar shapes, I would say. I prefer the dies and the shape of these dies more than I do the punch. So I would say I use the dies a lot more than I use that postage punch. I hope that was helpful. Okay, Pinwheel Tower Card. What is this called? Is it a pinwheel or a panel? Maybe it's called different things. Pinwheel is the word I was looking for. Nancy, thank you so much for posting that. Sometimes I get all these card names mixed up. Okay, I think I saw your comments. Let's go back to what we're doing with the Stampin' Dimensionals. So we're adding the critters now with Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm keeping this card pretty clean and simple. This is my very first tower card. And so you really could dress it up with die cuts and ribbon and, you know, sequins and all kinds of things. But I'm just gonna be really basic with this one and show you just sort of the foundation of doing a Pinwheel Tower card so that you can recreate this at home and embellish it however you would like. This one I'm leaving blank so that we have somewhere to write. So for that, I'm going to bring in that Penguin Place stamp set. And I'm just using the season greetings and the snowflakes. So you could easily substitute different sentiments and different images if you don't have the Penguin Place, because you really can use this designer paper without having the penguin stamp set. So I know right now that punch is on not orderable. So if you're holding out for the punch, you can use whatever you have. Okay, there's our panels. In addition to the main panels, I do have some extra designer paper cut, 4 pieces that are 1.5 inches by 4 inches. And I'm going to show you where we're going to put these after we start assembling the panels onto the base. Okay, so our base is dry over here now, and we have 4 different sides that are 1 inch thick. And so each of these panels is going to go on that 1 inch strip, and I'm just going to use regular adhesive. If you prefer, you could use your liquid adhesive or tear and tape, and I'm lining that right up to the edge. Come on. I think the glue is sticking inside the tower, so right up to the edge. In fact, I might want to go just a hair over more. Right up there. Okay. And then the next one, and you can do these in any order that you would like. I'm going to do the penguin next. So I'm going to kind of just rotate these over and add the penguin next, right up to the fold line. And fold him over. And then we'll do the snowman. And our last one, I think I just have to put it on this way. It's going to go right up to that edge. Okay, so that's how it lays flat. And then when you open it up, it has this pinwheel. And so I've alternated between the scallop rectangles and the labels, scallop rectangle and the labels. And so now these other pieces of designer paper are going to go on the new panels, which is like the back side of the other panels. So these are definitely something you have to wait to put on until after you have your card assembled so that you know exactly where to put them. So I'm going to have polka dots on 2 sides. And then I did cut out some of this, like the scenes from the other 2 sides. So for this one, I will add, oh, which one should I add here? I don't like that you can see that paper. I'm gonna move it over just a little bit. Oh, okay. You guys know me, always tearing apart my cards. Okay, now you can't see that paper a little bit there. Okay, that's all right. So for this one, I'm gonna go and do this pattern. Wait. Yes, okay. And we're going to do polka dots here. And on the last panel, we'll have some of those cute little critters to go opposite our sentiments. Okay, that is it. Here is our finished Pinwheel Tower card. We have all the different panels with the snowman and the penguin and the sentiment and the fox. So this sits up nicely on your desk, a really fun card to display, but also folds flat and fits into that standard Stampin' Up! Medium size envelope. So you can send it in the mail.
Okay, that's it for today. I'm so glad that you were able to join me for this project Playback. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, like, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time with another project Playback.